Hello fellow builders, Crystal Run County welcomes you back to another video. In the last video, European settlers moved into this peninsula and established a beautiful town tucked up against the mountainside. These folks are very ambitious and eager to expand their town into a thriving local life. They're looking to attract larger businesses to the area to provide their citizens with high quality jobs and potentially bring in some tourists. Now, the original settlers from the east have taken notice of their European neighbors and like what they see, especially the architecture. So they've hired their top architect and builder to help build them a beautiful campus that will hopefully make their town a beacon of intellect throughout the area. Let's get started. I've gotten out some of the larger buildings because I like to place them first, just so I know what the spacing should be, and that's what I'm doing here. And the vision for this campus is to have a really nice approachway into the campus off that 4-lane road. So you'll be able to see all the way down through to the main administrative building, and aligning that will be some of these larger buildings. It's looking great so far. Remember, I've unlocked all milestones, so I have access to all the buildings. I'm going to continue fine-tuning the entrance into the campus. Let's go ahead and work on the area where the dorms are going to be. And as you can see, I've already placed down a couple dorms. I think I'm going to have about 5 or 6 in here. And what I want to do is bring in some water. I think it would be really nice to have a lake within the core of our campus, especially where all the students are. As you're studying in your dorm, studying or whatever, you can look out on all sides and see water. We have the river on one side, and then we'll have a lake on the other. And it will really make this an attractive campus, so students from all over the region will want to come here. And in case you don't know, to make a river, lake, water feature, you use the freshwater outlet from the Natural Disasters DLC, one of the great assets from that DLC. So even if you don't play with disasters, which I don't, it's too much of a hassle to be honest with you, I still use some of the assets for props and things like this. So it's still worth considering purchasing. I guess while we're talking about water, how to make a lake. This came up, I think, on Reddit not that long ago. And I've seen a couple posts and a couple YouTube videos about it relatively recently. So I'll just share the information here. There is a way to create an engineered lake. You go ahead and place, it's either 4 or 5 freshwater outlets. I think they do 25 or 24,000 cubic meters per week. And then 1 water pump. So I want to say it's 120 cubic meters a week, and that should give you roughly 120 to like 125, around 120, and allow you to create a lake that's enclosed and keep the water level, we'll say, the same. So what you do is you place your freshwater outlets in first, place like 4 or 5 on each different areas, and just like you do with the freshwater inlet, by creating a hole and placing it there, you can do the same thing with a water pump. Drill a hole down, place the water pump in there, give it some room, place it before you use the freshwater outlet pumps to make water. That way it's dry. Fill it up with the freshwater outlet pumps, then turn your freshwater pump on, and now you've created an enclosed system where the freshwater outlets are putting in the same volume of water as the pump's pumping out. And it's all underwater. You can use, when it's dry, you can place earthquake detectors if you need to dump the power around. You can actually run power lines, but of course you'll have power lines going into your water. You could pretend that's submarine cable if you want, but I think you get the idea. So that's how you create a lake that doesn't drain or overfill. What I did here was place down the small gate for the Natural Reserve Park, just so I could get the park zoning and I'm moving it around the campus and all like the little blank spots. That way I can go ahead and place down like gazebos and piers and all this stuff from like Park Lights DLC. And I would encourage you to do that. It brings life to your campus, because I've never noticed foot traffic on the campus when you just place the buildings. Correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. But I do know when you use Park Life DLC assets, gazebos and all that stuff, the little bathrooms, people will go there. Because remember, leisure items like Park Life DLC are very similar to commercial in that it fulfills the need for your citizens to have something to do. So to increase the foot traffic in your campus, you place Park Life DLC stuff all over, and then people will always be walking around your campus. And it just makes it a lot more lively. And I think we're done. The advantages of the short episodes is they're short. Disadvantages, of course, you don't get to see a ton of build, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and give you the grand tour. So in this area, you can see I have a lifeguard stand, and I'm using the tiles from the Natural Reserve Park to be like a beach. And in the background, there's some chairs, flower beds, benches, we'll say a built-in grill. This is a really nice area where you can come to the beach, on the lake, relax, go for a swim, get something to eat, and just hang out. Let's go ahead and take a nice wide view of the campus. Up at the entrance, I've added parking using the local organic zoning. I really like the view coming off the main road of the campus. You can see the main building. It's going to take a quick drive. I really love the trees. I really love the ability to change the trees on all the roads with trees. Got some parking lots. A couple of the larger buildings. Make sure you look both ways before you cross the street. There's a little bit of a tree in your face, and I'm terrible at driving. I'm a pretty good driver in real life, but not in this game. I feel like the cars are made out of like lead weight or something, and it's really hard to turn. I'll take out a tree. Our main building looks pretty good from what I can see. I think I can spare you for my poor driving skills. Let's go ahead and take another look at the campus. See some of the detailing stuff. You can see some gazebos in between the buildings. The plaza, there's a lot of the little pier type assets. Nice waterfall right by our bridge. We got a nice Christmas tree that we can decorate during the wintertime in front of the gymnasium. Then there was this little spot here that I had, and what I did was sink the ground down, ran a couple of the European paths, planted a bunch of colorful trees, and then I raised the land up a little bit, so it creates this interesting platform where the path is like a bridge. It's elevated, but also the dirt's like right underneath it, so it doesn't look like a bridge. Well, that's our campus. It's looking gorgeous so far. Before we go, I'd like to mention Grant Parker Regional Medical Center. Dr. Parker is a leading surgeon in the Midwest who got wind of the beauty in this area and decided to partner with local investors to build a state-of-the-art medical facility that will provide best-in-class health and wellness services to the region. Chandler's Gaming Channel developers were successful in securing approval and permits to build this luxury 15-story apartment complex that includes a beautiful central fountain and other amenities like playground, grilling area, manicured flowers, and wonderful seating areas where residents can read or people watch. The recent papers indicate that the collaboration might continue between the East Settlers and Europeans in an effort to build a beautiful train line to connect the two settlements, but we'll have to wait and see if that goes through. Until then, I wish you the best and brightest in the cities you build, and as always, happy building.